Hello everyone, this is Nick from Yardman Gardener TV, and as you know, and this time we're coming at you with a more hands-on video into our Callaloo. I made a video earlier, which obviously I haven't posted yet, just today, showing my Callaloo and my abundance this year again with Callaloo, which same thing, I didn't plant no Callaloo. But in the video I was expressing how easy it is to prepare Callaloo. So this video I'm just obviously showing a simple example of how you go about preparing Callaloo, ready for it to cook. This video I won't be cooking it, but I will go to do the stripping process and wash it and let you guys see how Callaloo process it and how it's easy. But look at all this beautiful organic. It's one of the most healthiest vegetable that you can think of. Go look up Callaloo. It's easy to cook, prepare and eat. And I'm sure you could eat Callaloo raw if you wanted to, or make it into a smoothie. Mix it however way. Put it into soup, anything. It's a healthy vegetable and it doesn't ruin the taste of anything really. And it's not necessarily say that it take over, it does have a distinct flavor on itself naturally. As in, the green a green plant and stuff as such, with chlorophyll and all that taste. But the Callaloo have a natural spice, Right now I'm eating it, I can taste a little bit of celery taste to it. Just natural by itself, But a lot of its flavor come out in bursts, when you start to cook. You literally can cook Callaloo with just a little bit of oil or a little bit of butter, margarine, whatever you use. Just a little bit, like cutting up your onion, your scallion and all that in the pot and some pepper. But Callaloo can be cooked literally with just a little bit of salt and pepper, because it literally have great flavor by itself. But like I said, this video I'm just showing you how to strip it, ready for cutting up and washing. How easy the process is. So yeah. So basically, like I said, I cut my Callaloo. So, just like a lot of vegetable, asparagus, okra, those have that tendency, especially when they get older. This is the outside layer of the Callaloo. It's probably what protects it, because this is pretty soft, as you see. But if I try to do it with this part here, as much as I'm squeezing it, just this protective layer make it more difficult. It's kind of like almost like a plastic fibrous layer. Yeah, pretty tough. So you literally couldn't, not that you couldn't, but it wouldn't be a good idea to cook Callaloo with all this on it. It would just be that starchy, fibrous, hard to chew, and probably take forever to cook too, to penetrate this. Because I could say that this is on it still, and I cut this slice. All this outside layer would be covered in that, all this outside around it would cover in that basically plastic covering. So only way you would get penetrated to cook is on the either side of here, which would just give it a harder process, But anyway, so basically, yeah, you just go all around it. I'm losing my piece of Callaloo, but you just go all around it and strip all this extra outside coating, and I say go all around it. I start from up the top here, but sometimes it's also underneath, the little branches hanging off, kind of like here. So you do want to go underneath this, especially if it's a bigger stem, bigger body of Callaloo. You want to go underneath right here and get those strips. It's just going to be extra to make it cook less. For example, this is broken and it's hanging on by that strip, you see? So yeah, it's definitely something that you want to get off, where you start feeling the soft inner body of the Callaloo stem, which is where, between the leaves. So right now all this is good, ready to use. This just need to be washed, and you're going to cut up everything together. This is already stripped. So yeah, like these bigger branches, I'm losing my Callaloo them. But yeah, this is quite a few, but it does shrink, just same thing like any other vegetable, spinach, pak chai, You have a whole big bung like this, and by the time you cook it, it shrink. But this is quite a few. This, a couple people, especially individual, this would be too much for a person to eat. Not that you couldn't consume it or it would hurt you. You know what I mean? It would just be that much nutrients packing your body, but it would be a lot. As although it shrink, this would be definitely more than a serving, more than a couple serving. Probably 4 or 5 serving. And everybody get a nice you know portion of callaloo. So yeah, nothing nothing hard in any way of this process. The hardest part is basically to get callaloo, and as I was expressing in video, my interest of one day, having opportunity to distribute callaloo to folks that really need callaloo. Miss callaloo, never tried it before. Everybody, you know what I mean? Because I know, like I said, I'm gonna make some breakfast here shortly. So much people would kill for not literally kill. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so much people do for a nice bowl of callaloo, you know, whether morning, noon, or night. You know what I mean? But yeah, callaloo is great in any time of day. But it's definitely a popular staple vegetable in breakfast. And lunch too. Especially like even in restaurant. You don't have to be even at your home. What I mean? So definitely a healthy vegetable. So once you know it and have it, it's something that a lot of people want to incorporate in their diet, regularly. And as for me, I have been failing to um, store it, meaning like while it's growing, a lot of it does go to waste in the end because it get hard, obviously start growing seeds. That's where all the seeds falling from, and that's where I collect all the different seed. But I'm kind of lose my thought here. But anyway, but yeah, the callaloo here is definitely a easy thing to prepare. And I know a lot of people definitely, like I was saying, yeah, get back into that thought that you know would definitely love to have some callaloo. You know what I mean? It's definitely a popular dish amongst Caribbean people. You know, people in Africa. You know, but yeah, it's a definitely soulful food. Just like you have your collard greens. But not to compare, or don't play any other vegetable. But this here is one of the most healthiest vegetable. You can research it, all the nutrients, vitamins and mineral callaloo have to offer. And it's great for the bloodstream. Just like spinach. People thinking spinach like what I mean, Popeye the Sailor Man spinach, what I mean. But those people thinking spinach does power. Callaloo is also that type of, and callaloo probably definitely have more nutrients to offer than even spinach, and definitely all what spinach have to offer and more. So callaloo is definitely one of those ones. It's just that a lot of people don't know about it and probably hard to find it. Don't want to make this video a forever video, but as you see, I already established a small bungle here. This one. Imagine being a vegetarian, vegan. The fact that I just eat fish sometimes. So pescatarian, I don't know, all this name they give to stuff, or give to people, or this label, what I mean. So, but I have eaten fish over the years, what I mean. That's one that I never really gave up, even though from 5, 6 years old, I haven't been eating meat. There's some meat I definitely probably didn't eat, before. Like, people always rave about their steak. I probably never eaten steak as it is. But yeah, I do eat fish, and not so often, especially since I come to America. What I mean. And honestly, to the rate of how I eat fish, it's really not adding that much substantial protein to my diet because I don't eat it that often to say. But I feel like I don't always get the fresh fish as I want and or as I am used to. So it's really something that I could have not, you know, been eating. Honestly, especially since moving here to America. But I do eat it. So can say that I'm a vegan, I guess, in that way, but that I don't eat dairy product otherwise. And and obviously, like I said, no meat. But yeah, this is a nice Callaloo bungle. Could actually cook yourself a meal, you know what I mean, for an individual person. Like I said, this gonna shrink. But I'm gonna wazzle my way over to the kitchen sink and just give you a demonstration and easy washing your Callaloo, and then try to sum up this video basically. Because like I said, this is just a video showing you how to prepare the Callaloo after it's come from the garden basically. And as you see, all these individual stock. And it's crazy, not to drift to that, but actually somebody told me, in Canada, that they know, Caribbean, or even Jamaican person selling Callaloo. And maybe not a stock so small, maybe more like these. But I think he literally said, individual stock, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. But he said like around 5, 6 stock is like $5-6, Canadian dollar. I think maybe US money. I'm not sure, but yeah. But imagine though, like, I mean, if I was selling it, I wouldn't sell this so expensive. 5 stock for like, $5. Honestly, I don't even know. That's my trouble, even with my own art and all of that. The price stuff, like, what I mean? So I would have to, but I would definitely wouldn't want to put it where I feel like I'm ripping people off, or, it's, you have to be that expensive. But the potential is there though, and it's a very acquired and a product that you don't find really anywhere, especially in this type of world. So I could see, but I wouldn't be that type of guy, and that's why I would plant it in more abundance so that, everybody could come and get it off the road, whatever little you have, you come to my yard and my garden, I will give you what I can give you and stuff, like, and, I'm sure way more than what you're paying for, and we are givers, and not to talk about the fact that people would get it for free as well. But, a business as a business, you have to make some money. But yeah, But yeah, it's definitely potential for greatness. But yeah, I'm gonna bring this over to the to this kitchen sink and then move my tripod to that where that you guys can view it. But like I said, nothing major. Just gonna wash these clean. And but yeah, it's definitely a great excitement this year again, and I'm eating Callaloo daily. I'm gonna try to eat as much as I can. Last year I didn't consume half the amount that I grow. So I'm saying half, not even a small portion of the amount I grow, honestly. Individually. But give me a moment. So yeah, as everyone know already, Hardman Garden and Arts TV have ventured into the whole idea of hold on. Don't mind my mess's kitchen if that's the oh yeah, don't mind my little messy spot if anybody have a negative reaction, Oh yeah, it's just some plants and the window ledge here and to the corner. That owl is kind of a ceramic thing. Is it? I think so. It's kind of a bubblehead thing. I didn't put it there, but it made the waste in the video. But yeah, here's the kitchen sink. Easy process. You're basically just washing Callaloo. It's grown outside. There's critters, fly potentially pitching on it. And just like any organic vegetable. I'm just coming in and washing it. Washing it. And some people actually, this process, some people take it more serious. I grow it at home. I know it's organic. But some people actually cut it and then steam it in little water to purify and get it more clean. But that's if you buy pesticide Callaloo from the farmer, that you're not sure where it's from. This is all organic. Only thing that may touch on this is little flying critter, which some of it is natural anyway, or organic to the plant. And they're helpful critter. This doesn't have any pests like any worms. So so this is really not anything majorly to say dirty, you know what I mean? But it's grown outside, you still wanna wash it. But typical time though, especially if I didn't grow it, you know, sometimes I can use vinegar water and wash it. Like I could have some vinegar in this bowl right now. You know, or even salt. Salt is a good thing to wash vegetable, as salt does help purify and get rid of germs and, you know, potentially bacteria of any product. You know, so whether it was lettuce or something, you know, some people, you know, especially from the store, just give their lettuce just a little rinse. And I've seen people washing vegetable and fruit, and they do this. Run it underneath the water, and haven't even touched it with this, and kind of like, you know, give it a rub. So I've seen people washing fruit all different and vegetable all different way, you know. I like to scrub, you know, especially, you know, things grown organically and in the soil may develop any dirt or something. So yeah, these are literally clean, and I do spray them off each time I water them as well. As it's one of those vegetables that really doesn't hurt from the leaves getting water on it, you know what I mean? So at the time I water them, I basically spray them off. So yeah, I don't wanna, like I said, make this video too long. So this is not where I'm trying to take individual callaloo leaf and wash it off as how I can get some time. Especially like I said, if I didn't grow it, and depends on the time of year. You know, if it's rainy and there's a lot of dirt and mud, you know, getting beat up on the plant leaves and all of that. But right now it's pretty you know, a mild spring. You know, we're probably heading out into summer now. But it's still good weather, so we haven't been getting any crazy weather. And like I said, these are fresh, just coming up. Last week these was pretty low to the ground, like, you know, this low. But in days make the great changes. So yeah, I wanna go ahead and cut this off with the washing. And go ahead back and show you a little bit into cutting up the callaloo. So same thing again, I'm just gonna wheel this around. Yeah, what a process. Yeah, this process should be cut and edit. This is my cut and edit, moving my tripod from one angle to the other. But like I said, you know, it's all in the growth. I started this for just fun and the pleasure and the joy of. I already do this stuff daily anyway, and being here in America, I came here, didn't have family and friends around me like that, so I started this YouTube just, you know, just to you know, occupy some of my time in the way and just give people something that they might like looking at. Somebody might learn something. So this was never out of like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel so much to earn. So I have to be doing what everybody else is doing, cut and edit and make it spicy. You know, I want to do that, you know, with, you know, I'm not gonna say it easy like that, like I know what I need to do, you know what I mean? It's all good be a learning process, which I haven't ventured into that as yet. So here is my cut and edit. So yeah, back to it. My bowl here with my callaloo. And I make sure I put all this extra ambience here. You know, I didn't want to get the table too messy and wet. You know what I mean? And honestly, for a vegetarian, I actually don't have a nice big cutting board. I find this thing and I give it a nice wash. It's not necessarily even a cutting board as it is. More like a table surface thing to hold. Kind of like a wafer, you know what I mean? Basically. It does have some rubber thing underneath. It's actually brand new, but I'm using it as a demonstration as my cutting board. And yeah, basically this is, you know, if all this was washed, this is how I would take my nice little bungle that I can manage holding my hand. And yeah, just lean it down here, and we're just going ahead and doing a little dicing and cutting. You know, picturing a chef cutting his onion or any vegetable that you put down and surface in this form, and just bringing the knife across is what I'm doing. And yeah, I started off from the stem part that, you know, hold the leaves and attach the body down into the ground. So you started off from that rougher part, from the round rough part, and as I mentioned, cut down into small pieces. So that's the reason why, doing a lot of callaloo, is necessary if you're feeding a lot of folks. Because it does shrink. But as simple as this is, it's everybody can get a taste still. Even though it's gonna shrink. So it still go a long way. It's vegetable. So it's not like, and it's such a strong, healthy and nutritious vegetable. It's not like you need a whole ton amount, So it's all, due to the person and how much they can consume in one eating. Because it's not like something that you can overeat and it's gonna affect you in a certain way. I don't know. It depends on the person, Everything have a limit to a way that, it may affect you if you overeat it. But this not in a bad way, like it's gonna, cause liver damage or, those type of stuff. More like, it probably upset your tummy, meaning that it's food and you eat too much, and your body's not used to it. I'm getting all this then. So yeah. So basically, as you see, these leafy part could have been more fine. Like I said, it depends on the person and their liking. But as you see, I make sure this part is more smaller. These were the stem, as in here, and this is the final result. So this is a nice, portion of callaloo. Could, like I said, feed a couple of people, depending on the amount that they're really looking for on their plate. But, me right now I'm making this for breakfast. This would be a nice amount for me. Definitely. Could be one that I eat in one portion, but it's gonna shrink, obviously. But I'm gonna add more to this, as maybe I'm not the only one that's gonna eat off this preparation, but yeah. So now basically, like I said, you literally could cook callaloo with salt and pepper and not much spice, but allspice, a little bit of allspice. For me, like even a tiny bit of cumin, a little Italian spice, just a little, tip of it, a little touch, to just give it add a little burst of flavor to it. But like I said, callaloo in itself have a lot of flavor, and no overpowering of spice. This is not something that you wanna ruin with spice too much, because then you will end up tasting too much spiciness and not the flavor and the joy of and the taste of the callaloo. But this would be ready to go into the pot, is what I'm expressing, and I'm ready to prepare and eat. And other way, if you're doing some smoothie, if you're putting this into anything, making a pie, vegetable pie, it's already prepared, washed, prepared. So yeah, alright. Yeah, bigger leaves and then the stemmy part. So that's my callaloo tutorial. Yardman, Nick from Yardman Garden Arts TV. This is what it's about right here. The fun and the pleasure and the joy of planting something on the land and reaping it, enjoying it, all organic. And this callaloo. And to know that the pack and the seed came from Jamaica, couple years now. Or not even yet fully. Maybe not even, and it's here doing this wonder. And like I said, hit me up if you see any way of you could reach out and get callaloo if you're close by in the Illinois area. And yeah. And if you're a person that see business opportunity into it, hit me up. We could make wonder. We could make something happen. Nick from Yardman Garden Arts TV. Keep liking, supporting, subscribe to my channel if you haven't as yet. And yeah, callaloo. This is it right here. And I just wanted to show folks, because I'm sharing video with callaloo, planting it and showing you outside. This is the inside. One moment I may come with a video how to cook it. It's pretty easy, and enjoy some callaloo with you all. Alright, this is callaloo moment. This is me enjoying my thing and just sharing what I do anyway. So, alright, peace and love to the people of the world. We need love, we need support of each other, and we need one unity. No matter where you are in the globe. Love, 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 peace, and togetherness. The war and division is not gonna work. And this is not a debated channel, or so not that we can go into and be a emotional support to people and so. But yeah, love and support to everyone around the world, and the war is not gonna work. I mean, we need to quit destroy the universe, destroy the land, and destroy people's life and livelihood. All right, peace.